When I first moved out of my parents' house, I thought I had finally caught a break. My dad's friend, Kathy, told me she was subletting her apartment. It was a 2-bedroom place, fully furnished, and she promised me a really good deal. The only downside was that I wouldn't be living alone. She had already found another woman to share the apartment with. Her name was Betty. When Kathy introduced us on move-in day, Betty seemed harmless. She was around 60 years old, with long, graying hair and a tired face. It felt a little strange knowing my roommate was old enough to be my grandmother, but rent was cheap and I didn't have many options. The apartment was already furnished. I just brought my bed and a small dresser. Everything felt normal at first. The second night is when things started to feel wrong. I was sitting on the couch in the living room watching TV when suddenly I felt like someone was staring at me. I turned my head toward the hallway. Betty's head slowly appeared from around the corner of the wall. She was just staring at me. Her eyes looked empty. Then she started making these low, faint groaning noises, almost like she was trying to say something but couldn't. "Betty, are you okay?" I asked. She didn't respond. She just groaned again, then slowly disappeared back into the hallway. My heart was pounding. I immediately called Kathy and told her what happened. Kathy sounded surprised and said she hadn't noticed anything strange about Betty. She had only met her once before letting her move in. I tried to convince myself that maybe Betty was sick or just confused for a moment. The next morning, I saw Betty in the kitchen making eggs. She smiled and said, "Good morning," like nothing had happened. When I asked her if she was okay the night before, she looked genuinely confused. She said she had no memory of it at all. I told myself it must have been some kind of mental episode, uncomfortable but maybe harmless. I was wrong. A few nights later, I was lying in bed with the lights off, watching something on my laptop. That's when I heard a knock on my bedroom door. I muted my laptop. Then I heard it again, that same moaning sound from the first night, slow, low, unnatural. My door didn't have a lock. I just lay there in silence, frozen, listening. The knocking and moaning went on for almost a full minute. Then, footsteps walking away. I didn't sleep well that night. Later that week, I woke up suddenly thinking it was morning, but the room was completely dark. I checked the clock, 1:30 a.m. That's when I heard a creak on the floor inside my bedroom. I could see a figure standing at the edge of my bed. "Betty?" I whispered. She made that same groaning sound again. My heart was about to explode. I reached over and slammed the lamp on. There she was, Betty. Her hair was messy, her eyes half open like she wasn't fully awake. But that wasn't the worst part. In her hand was a large kitchen knife. I screamed and scrambled backwards, pressing myself into the corner of the bed, waiting for her to attack me. But she didn't. She just stood there, groaning softly. Then she slowly turned around and walked out of the room. The moment she left, I jumped up, slammed the door shut, and pushed my dresser against it. I tried calling Kathy, but it was the middle of the night. She didn't answer. I sat on the floor, shaking, knife-cold fear running through my body, waiting for the sun to come up. Those 6 hours felt like the longest night of my life. As soon as it was morning, I called Kathy and told her everything. She was horrified. She came over that same day and spoke to Betty. Betty apologized and once again claimed she had no memory of coming into my room. After some research, Kathy and I discovered that Betty likely suffered from severe sunbowning syndrome, a condition where people become confused, aggressive, or dangerous at night. Legally, Kathy couldn't evict her immediately, so she told me the safest thing to do was leave. I moved out that same week. To this day, I still think about how close I came to being stabbed by someone who didn't even know what they were doing. And it still terrifies me to know that while I was asleep, my roommate came into my room holding a knife.